What if I told you that many of the beliefs you have about the EB-1A are setting you up for failure? I mean, you might assume that being exceptionally good at your job or holding a PhD or having a bit of fame automatically qualifies you for an EB-1A. At best, that's only half the story. My name is Stefanakorli, and I'm here to do for you what so many people have done for me throughout the years, and that is to provide important information that could maybe change a life or two. Today we're cutting through some of the hype and misinformation and clarifying some of the real requirements behind EB-1A classification. Now, if you're interested in filing an EB-1A petition and the process feels overwhelming or you're unsure if you qualify, don't worry, you're not alone. A lot of people feel that way, and my law firm can help. My law firm helps people through the EB-1A journey from start to finish. So contact me. My information is in the description. Now let's dive in and debunk some of these misconceptions once and for all. I just need to be good. Scratch that. Very good at my job. If EB-1A eligibility were just based on being good or great at your job, well, then your favorite local barista who can froth milk into a perfect little swan while taking 4 orders at once, they would already have an approved EB-1A petition. But they don't, because the EB-1A visa category isn't for people who are merely very good at their jobs. First, it's for people who are extraordinary in their field. Moreover, even if you are extraordinary in your field, but you cannot marshal your extraordinary ability into 3 out of 10 regulatory criteria, then you're not going to get an EB-1A visa or green card. I'm talking about these criteria. Additionally, USCIS is not just handing out EB-1A visas and green cards to people who are extraordinary at their job. They also need to show that they have sustained national or international acclaim. I have to be the best at my job. It's not true. It's not true that you need to be the Shakespeare or the Einstein or the Messi of your field. You don't need to be the best or the most impactful or the most brilliant or the most innovative. You don't need to be among the handful of people who are the best. In fact, you don't even need to be in the top 1%. If you're within the top 3%, you should be fine. To put that in perspective, if you're placed into a large room with 33 or 32 other randomly selected members of your field, you would be the best. Again, you don't need to be the best of 10,000 randomly picked people in your field. That would mean you're in the top 0.01%. The point I'm trying to make is that the standard is not ridiculously high when it comes to showing that you are at the top of your field. I have a PhD, so I likely will qualify, right? Degree does not a person of extraordinary ability make. A PhD is impressive. It means you spent years probably researching something incredibly specific, like the effects of climate change on Midwestern earthworm populations, or the evolution of sock fashion in the 19th century. No, I'm kidding, I'm absolutely kidding. But where will a PhD help you when it comes to what you need to establish in order to get an EB-1A? That's a rhetorical question. It will not help you much. For example, you need to show that you are among the best in your field. It's likely that your field is filled with PhDs, so a PhD is a wash. It just doesn't alone satisfy any of the 10 regulatory criteria, 3 of which you have to establish, typically. Nor does it alone show that, for instance, you have sustained national or international acclaim. Your degree alone just won't get you the EB-1A, nor will it do a lot of the heavy lifting in the EB-1A process. USCIS is looking for something different than just education. I just need a few recommendation letters. File this misconception under the "if only it were that simple" listing. This is a misconception, especially when what we're talking about as reference letters are just shallow missives of praise. You know, those that are short but just generic praise. You know, full of broad complimentary statements without specific examples. Or those that talk about someone's character, like Alexandra is hardworking, Kwame is dedicated, likely to succeed in anything he does. Or those that are just full of conclusions but lack any evidence or detailed anecdotes. Like, Hans is certainly one of the best in his field. Many people think that gathering a few recommendation letters, like these letters from a few well-respected colleagues or experts, is enough, but they are not enough. A few recommendation letters may well be enough, but not those kinds of letters. You need good reference letters or recommendation letters. For what makes a good letter, subscribe to this channel, or maybe check our published videos. There will be, or maybe already has been, a video about good reference letters for EB-1A cases. But if all you know is that a letter that says, "This person is great," is not enough, if that's all you know, you'll be ahead of a lot of petitioners. I don't need to have a job. Okay, this is not exactly a misconception, but let's talk about it anyway. You don't need a job offer, and you don't necessarily need to have a job, or let's say employment, at the time you submit the EB-1A petition package. Because the EB-1A doesn't require a job offer, it's great for a lot of people. Entrepreneurs, for instance, or independent researchers, or independent journalists, or just someone who doesn't enjoy the thrill of having a boss. However, while you don't need a job offer, you do need to show that you plan on continuing to work in your field of expertise, your field of extraordinary ability in the United States. This means, for instance, you can't say, for example, "I was a groundbreaking scientist, but now I want to move to Miami to open up a small bakery." And you can't say, for example, "I have no idea what I'll do in the US." No, USCIS wants to see that you'll keep contributing at an extraordinary level in your area of extraordinary ability. So USCIS expects that you will submit clear evidence, such as letters from current or prospective employers, or evidence of prearranged commitments such as contracts, or a statement detailing plans for continuing work in the US. Getting an EB-1A petition approved means you are a permanent resident. Getting an EB-1A petition approved does not mean that you are automatically a permanent resident. Sure, it's a big win and a crucial step toward permanent residence, but don't start your victory lap just yet. After approval, you still need to apply for your immigrant visa or your green card, unless you applied for your green card at the same time you submitted the petition. Typically, unless you have some skeletons in your closet, it's pretty straightforward to get the immigrant visa application or the adjustment of status application approved after you have an approved EB-1A petition. But it is a step that must occur. Now, if things like immigration fraud or unlawful presence or a criminal record are lurking in your past, your EB-1A approval might turn into a Pyrrhic victory. So the EB-1A petition approval, it's a fantastic milestone, but it's not the finish line. When you only have an EB-1A approval, you're still in the race, so don't pull a muscle. I can hire a lawyer at the last minute. Many people think they can throw together a petition and then let a lawyer fix it later if necessary when they receive a request for evidence or a notice of intent to deny from USCIS. But often EB-1A cases require months of preparation and strategizing and putting the case together and arguing the case. A skilled lawyer doesn't just fill out forms. We build a compelling case, select the right evidence, develop reference letters, explain and package the materials in a convincing manner, make sure everything aligns with USCIS standards and expectations, and then be prepared to respond to any objections or questions that the government has. Waiting until the last minute to enlist the help of a lawyer, you know what that might mean? Missing out on key evidence, missing out on recommendation letters, missing out on strategic positioning. Further, if you wait till the last minute, you may not find a lawyer willing to take your case at all. Now, if you avoid all these misconceptions and you don't make some of the mistakes referenced in this video, well, you might be able to avoid the frustration that comes with a denial. I would hate a denial for you. In any case, if you're ready to file a petition, or you just want to know if you likely qualify for an EB-1A, my law firm is here to help. We've guided extraordinary professionals through the complex EB-1A process. So contact us today. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe, because there will be more videos like this on the way.